All right. Just sit here and relax for a few minutes. I don't think anybody's actually here yet. Viewer count says 1, but I don't think there's anybody actually here yet. Just eat some water ice in the meantime. Yeah, I knew it. That 1 disappeared. It's probably because I had a tab open. But the plan right now is, once again, shaycarls research. I kind of think I want to go back and legitimately just look at the old cringy, less than a minute long content. And just go up through the years. Can't go through the entire thing because this is 13 years of content minus the last year. But I definitely want to get a decent chunk of his history. That reminds me, I forgot I never fixed the chat box. For some reason, it's skewed off to the side. I don't know why. But I also want to work on scripting a little bit. Let me actually bring this over here. All right. I forgot I was going to tweet this joke out. I guess I kind of did. I don't think I want to make a video about it after all, though. All right, shaycarls. Imagine being a man so loved and so respected. I need to work on creative writing skills again, because I used to be able to just write, and I can't do it anymore. I feel like I need to write a basic script that's fairly short from now on, and then start adding to it and growing it as I do research, but get a basic script done so I could do a researchless video without even putting anything specific in there that I don't already know about. Just what I know from gathering information in passing, and then going back and researching more to kind of see where things go. I feel like if I start with a finished product of some kind, it'll simplify the whole thing. Imagine being a man so loved and so respected. And in a matter of weeks, you've become all of YouTube loved and respected. But in a matter of weeks, you've become a joke and outcasted doesn't sound right. That's too much. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you become a joke. I don't know why I'm spacing on how to, like, what I want to go next. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you become a joke. You can only hope to have something to salvage. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you become a joke, and you can only hope to have something to salvage. "13 years and counting. A channel a hobby that became an empire. Only to die as fast So I don't know if anybody's actually watching right now. The part of the problem is I'm struggling with my creative writing, which has slowed down the process of all these things. And I feel like if I start doing this thing again where when I started doing YouTube videos and stuff, I had this thing where I would, when I actually scripted things, there was always a little bit of like a rhyme scheme. There was a little bit of a rhythm to it. And I don't have that anymore. I'm just writing things to sound smart. And I feel like I'm missing, I kind of miss having that extra added element. So I kind of want to start writing more kind of poetic intros. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you became a joke. And imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you become a joke, and you can only hope to have something to salvage. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became an empire, only to die. A career that soared higher. 13 years and counting, a career that became a hobby that became a career that then soared higher. Okay. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became a career then soared higher. Only now, how do I transition that into a Star Wars reference? Is there another empire that died as fast? Besides arguably Trump's? Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you become a joke and... Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you become a joke and you can only hope you have something to salvage. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became a career then soared higher, only to die as fast as... George Lucas's Star Wars Empire. I shouldn't put why did I put a question mark at the end of that? That was dumb. Piece of junk. Hate these stupid apps. What a waste. Alright. Imagine being a joke all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks, you become a joke and you can only hope to have something to salvage. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became a career, then soared higher. Only to die as fast as George Lucas's Star Wars Empire. That feels too forced. Let's actually look up the fall of the Ottoman Empire. How did that happen? How fast did the... Yeah, it's not worth it making that reference anyway. It's too deep. I don't know enough about that. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Only to die as fast as... No, wait, I got it. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks, you become a joke, and you can only hope to have something to salvage. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became a career, then soared higher, only to die as fast as Disney's Star Wars Empire. I mean, it feels a little too rappy for me, but I think it works. It might be interesting enough to like get people to actually pay attention to the... I'm kind of hoping that rhythm makes it a little bit more interesting in the beginning. I mean, it's something. That's something to work with, right? Maybe I should record that right now. Just so I have it. And I don't forget it or anything. I can even mess with the editing on it if I want to put videos to it or something. Make it like a thing. Go ahead and do this here. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks, you become a joke, and you can only hope to have something to salvage. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became a career, then soared higher. Nah, that's bad. That's not good. Okay, let's do this again. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected. I don't know. Maybe I can't do this live. Just doesn't feel like it's working. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you become a joke, and you can only hope to have something to salvage. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became a career, then soared higher, only to die as fast as Disney's Star Wars empire. I mean, I don't know. Let me see how that sounds. Maybe it's not as bad as it sounds in my head. Where's that recording going? There it is. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks... Wait, does it really start? Imagine being a man all of... It starts mid-sentence. Why? Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you become a joke, and you can only hope to have something to salvage. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became a career, then soared higher, only to die as fast as Disney's Star Wars empire. It sounds alright. All right. Who is shaycarls? Most of you've probably heard the name in passing. Let's delete that because it also has that's like an original intro. It doesn't really work for this though. Most of you probably heard the name shaycarls at some point. What's up, John? I'm doing all right. How you doing? I'm kind of trying to get myself in the rhythm here. Something I was just kind of talking to myself about a little bit is I used to before I started making videos like this, like that I do, right? I had more of a rhythm to stuff. Back in the, like a couple years ago, I had more of a rhythm. I felt like there was a lot more creative writing elements to it. So I'm trying to get some of that back in there by adding more rhythm to how I write my scripts again, which could complicate them, unfortunately. Could make them more difficult to do. But the rhythm of the scripting helps it flow better. So, nice. I'm hoping to start off my podcast with Jay back up soon. But I kind of want to wait until the spouse is out of the house once she gets in her apartment, and then I'll have more free time when she's got the boy some nights. I just realized that my beard isn't 100% level right here. It's a little off. Anyway. But yeah, so I'm trying to like make this not really rhyme necessarily, but it's got to have more of a flow to it. But yeah, we're going to be streaming more on this channel soon. There's going to be streams with me and Jay and stuff as well. They're not going to be just straight up, what do you call it? Not gonna be straight up just me or gaming. I'm probably gonna move gaming streams to the Twitch channel. I'm probably gonna start a gameplay commentary channel as well at some point for simple stuff. Yeah, Jay's doing pretty good. Jay's doing well. We still hang out pretty often. We just haven't really been able to. I haven't been able to do things recently. Ugh, dang it! The water ice give me a blue tongue. But anyway, yeah. I'm gonna put out. All right. I don't know if I've actually said this anywhere yet or not. I've decided now for sure that I'm going to be doing an update video, kinda sorta. That's also about where I've been for the last few months. That's going to come out in January. Because January is a couple of things for me. I'm hoping... I have a goal for my financial situation. I have a goal for my physical situation. I have a goal for a bunch of things. So, the thing I need to do to hit these goals is just... work, essentially. Wait, am I dropping frames here? Is that what that's saying? No, okay, that's how many packets I've got. Okay, cool. I feel bad for not being able to interact with your server as much, but I'll be honest, man. I haven't been interacting as much in the chat, in the general chat anyway. I took such a big break from using the server anywhere but like a specific, well, Discord at all, except for like one or two specific chats that I'm in a couple places. Because I don't have anything to say. I'm not really super active in the community right now. I'm getting more active on Twitter again a little bit. So it's, you know, everybody's got their own lives to live. Everybody's got their own things to do. My server's not meant to be super active anyway. I mean, right now it's actually locked down. Actually, I do need to get a default. I do want to have like a default pinned message from now on that is a link to the server, so that when people are watching the chat, they can access it. But that's the only way that it will be active. That is the plan. I don't expect this to go anywhere in terms of like, you know, getting any extra viewership or anybody into the server or anything like that, really. But 7 playbacks. We've had 7 people click on the stream with an average watch time of 16 seconds. Cool. This is not going well by that standard. Anyway, I'm not too surprised though, because for the most part I've just been scripting, and there's nothing that interesting going on right now. But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, things are be changing a lot. Teddy penis. Right. Gotcha. Anyway, actually, you know, I'm gonna get a little tighter shot on me. I do plan on limiting these streams when I do these work streams. I do plan on limiting them to right around an hour each. Just so we're clear. And I think there is a timer somewhere, isn't there on here? Yeah, 26 minutes. I'm live for 26 minutes. So I do plan to limit these to an hour, hour and a half. What's that? Jay, you're funny. Yeah, I definitely like the way I feel after scripting this. I definitely think I think I for sure am going to go back to doing more rhythm-based elements with everything else, because this feels satisfying to me, even though it's not like really good or anything like that. It's not supposed to be. It's just, it adds a level of creative writing that helps me a little bit, and it feels like it motivates me to work more on the writing process. Imagine being a man all of YouTube loved and respected, but in a matter of weeks you become a joke, and you can only hope to have something to salvage. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became a career then soared higher, only to die as fast as Disney's Star Wars empire. And that's the intro. Then I play a couple of clips or whatever, and then before the eras of Neistat, Paul, and who else? You know what? Let's go with... The problem with the shaycarls is that people these days can't just handle their hardcore educating stylings. Before the eras, yeah, that was entirely what that whole thing was. Shaycarl was just trying to be an edgy comedian, and so he DM'd a girl about how he was jerking off in the moonlight. The ultimate troll, right? That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Before the eras of McBroom, Neistat, or Pauls. The first family of YouTube. No, the first family of the internet, really. Was none other than shaycarls. Before the eras of McBrooms, Neistats, or Pauls, the first family of the internet was none other than the shaycarls. That's a little forced, but alright. The good thing about this is I can remove all of this, but I feel like I need to do this as an exercise at the very least. Adding the rhythm and all that back into my writing. Because there used to be a lot more of a rhythm to it, and I feel like I've lost a lot of that. Before the eras of McBrooms, Neistats, or Pauls, the first family of the internet was none other than shaycarls. I wonder what was YouTube upload limits going away. I wonder when that went away. How to upload longer videos in 2021? What? How to upload longer videos? Okay, in 2016, I guess you had to have like, you have to have like a certain type of account. You have to like verify with like email address or something like that, I think. Never mind. I wish I could find out the I wouldn't. You know, it's not really worth it, I guess, for a small little section like this. Listening to editing, rather relaxing. Nice. I'm glad my voice is not too shrill. Okay. Tube didn't really have stars. No. Back in the day, before YouTube had stars. I don't like that either. I'm just gonna watch a couple of videos now and see if I can like. This is his first video. It's currently on his channel.
No one asked me what they're doing, but they told me to record. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Shay? Thanks, birthday.
My lips are numb.
Yeah, back in the day when content was content. This is really old school normie content right here.
Your face was turning blue. You took that whole thing.
Because this is really just family videos, home videos.
Oh my goodness.
Serious, my lips were numb. I almost passed out.
How do you record on our camera?
Yeah.
How old is shaycarl? 41 years old. Born in 1980. So he would have been... Wait, who's... Oh, I didn't even close that. Oh, well. No, I'll see. I'll check it anyway. Who's live? Nobody really. Okay, cool. 2007. He was born in 40, so 40 or born in 80. So 80 to 90, 90 to 2000. So he would have been 27 at this point. So he didn't really blow up on YouTube until sometime around 34, 35 probably, because I don't think he really took off until early 10s.
This one has a record, like a video camera button.
Doesn't sound like your voice.
Where's it at? The record button? Do you have the same one? Yeah. It's right. Oh, here. Turn it over to
Mom,
camera.
I'm not going to stop under any condition, okay?
Oh my gosh.
It's extremely exciting.
Okay. Okay.
That's the shaycarls logo. Okay, I didn't realize that's what that was. 14 years ago, 13 years ago. Okay, so let's see. Let's see when it looks like around when it became supplemental income, maybe. Somewhere around here, it looks like. Somewhere around here, probably, because this is where he's like in the hotel room with a bunch of YouTubers and stuff. Looks like Fat Jacks. Well, see, that's the thing. Back in 2007, Teddy, this is what YouTube was. Just goofball videos, funny home clips and things.
Okay.
Kind of like what Instagram and TikTok content is now. A lot of it. Like, a lot of TikTok isn't, but there's a lot of people on TikTok that just upload, look what my kid did today. Like, I kind of do, to be fair, I kind of do that with my Instagram. That's like most of what I do with my Instagram is just like, that's like my one social media where I actually just use it like a real person. All my other social media I use either just because my family's on it, so I'm on there, or I use it as like, for lack of a better term, like business stuff, like with commentary stuff and things like that on Twitch, on Twitter. Before Teddy was born.
Hey, this is our Shay.
I don't know. I think after enough of our conversations and back and forths in different places, Jay, I think we've determined that Teddy is not a teenager. I think we've pretty safely determined that Teddy is not a teenager, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Some knowledge that Teddy's displayed and some behavior he's displayed in the past conflicts with the common understanding we have of Teddy's behavior. Yes, this was before corporations. I want to say that was around 2012 when things got serious like that. I mean, things got serious on the platform, but it wasn't like widespread, like with networks and things at that level yet. I think that was around 2011, 2012.
Hey, and he's giving us his lovely dance routine of the night. Shay, tell us what this is called.
They're just home videos, and at the time, it was fun to store your home videos on YouTube. A lot of people were starting to do this, but it was usually, you didn't have a lot of personality or anything that you were pushing or that you could really put into it or anything. It's a lot more personality driven than a lot of people wanted to admit, I think. This was a time of home movies. In theory that... one theory is that he's actually Nick's alt. There is zero chance that Nick would spend time on an alt playing the role of Teddy. Somewhere down there, yeah. This was a time of home movies. This was a time online of home movies. Blackface. No, I'm kidding. I do think it'd be really funny to like just leave blackface in the middle of like a list of like 4 things, and when I show pictures of them, show up like a picture of Shane Dawson in blackface. Webcam skits. I don't know what to call it. Like back then it wasn't, there was like nothing really, right? I'm trying to think of like how to look at this. This was a time online. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it at home movies. Where it was all really just home movies. This is a time online. No, you know what? I got it. This was a time online of home movies. Oh crap! I just lost it. Oh. This was a time online of home movies and video diaries. The world was still really finding the internet, and the internet was still just finding YouTube. Before the eras of McBrooms, Neistats, or Pauls, the first family of the internet was none other than the shaycarls. Before the... Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good, right? As long as I can pronounce it properly, because I keep saying when I say the shaycarls. But they're the shaytards. But I want it to sound like... the video is about Shay Carl, not about the Shaytard family. So it feels like it sounds better ending with Shay Carl, like possessive. Oh, movies and blackface is the winner. Jeez. Playing the role of Teddy. Oh, come on. It's a deep role with a lot of... Before the eras of McBrooms, Neistats, or Pauls, the first family of YouTube was none other than shaycarls. This was a time of home movies. This was a time online of home movies and video diaries. The world was still really finding the internet, and the internet was still finding YouTube. Was just finding YouTube. I think I might have to go back to writing in like 2-sentence paragraphs, 2-sentence segments. Just because it's easier to remember when I'm trying to remember the lines when I'm doing stuff. Before the eras of McBrooms, Neistats, or Pauls, the first family of the internet was none other than the shaycarls. This was a time online of video diaries and home movies. Actually, I like it better the other way around. Video diaries and home movies. The world was still really finding the internet, and the internet was just finding YouTube. Okay, I'll tell you what. How about this? I'll make a deal with you guys. I will put the blackface reference in, but it won't be here, and it will be more subtle. Because if I'm covering, like, shaycarls' growth and expansion over time, and I don't mean his gut, but that may come up as well, I can cover the fact... I was planning already on covering the fact that he did some things that are, like, now considered inappropriate. And it might be good to, at that point, like, kind of cross-reference with other people from the YouTube community. Like, you got Jenna Marbles and Shane Dawson. Trying to think of who, like Phil DeFranco even made a lot of edgier jokes back. That like the early 2010s were a very, very edgy time on YouTube. Even Bo Burnham, I think, has said that he kind of feels bad about the jokes he made. In his special on Netflix recently, he kind of addressed that a little bit. See, now that makes a little bit more sense. That makes a little bit more sense. Let me check Twitter real quick. Okay, still pretty much nothing going on. Okay. That water ice really gave me the burps for some reason. I wish I had some water. I definitely need more water. I have eaten like crap today, bro. I have not been eating well today. I've not been taking care of myself the last couple days. I really need to get back on the dieting, back on the grind with the working out and all that. I worked out a bit yesterday, but not enough. I'm struggling to get back into it and really get that weight dropping again. Long and waited a reel. All right. Let me get my legs more situated here. I haven't written, like, much of anything, but I'm happy with the little bit I've written so far. So, yeah, I think I'll cover his impact on the platform. And I'll cover... Because that'll be during the time where I'm talking about the fact that he was one of the founding members of... I believe founding members of Maker Studios. How much he influenced the platform. So that'll probably be where I talk about the growth over the years with his sense of humor and all that. That's disgusting. That's just dirty. That is disgusting, Teddy. Ugh. Okay. Alright, 15 minutes. I haven't gotten much done, given that I've been working on this for 15 minutes, though. Or for 45 minutes, really. Before the eras of McRooms, Nice Stats, or Paul's, the first family of the internet was none other than shaycarls. This was a time online of video diaries and home movies. The whole world was really finding the internet, and the internet was just finding YouTube. Among a sea of reply girls and let me actually look it up. When were reply girls a thing? In the early 2010s, reply girls were a type of female YouTube user. Okay, so yeah, early 2010s. That's what I thought. All right, so that's close enough to when he started, I guess. I could just I don't know what you mean by my mom is the one who gave birth to me. Gave me that. What? Mom was the one who gave me that line. Your mom's gross then. I don't know. Sounds gross. So I said it sounds gross. Among us, reply girls and A few gems in the early years of YouTube started to stand out and become... See, I don't know, this doesn't feel like it fits any of, like, it doesn't have a rhythm like the other stuff did. Among a sea of reply girls and cat videos, a few gems in the early year of early YouTube. Among a sea of reply girls and cat videos, a few gems of early YouTube made their names. That's pretty good, I guess. That feels like it fits a little bit more. Tyler Oakley, I'm going to mention first, for whatever reason. Shane Dawson. I really shouldn't be, like... Why did... Alright, I just want to see when he made his channel. 2005. So he was, like, first year dude. 4 billion views on his channel. What is the oldest he still has on his channel, I wonder? My apology and blackface offensive videos 7 years ago. He wiped everything on his channel 7 years ago. Must see reply girls and cat videos. There lies a man who saw the potential of YouTube. A magnificent man with morbid ambitions and a beautiful beard rised up. See, okay. All of that but the last 2 words makes you sound like a 30-year-old. But then saying rised up makes you sound like a kid again. That's where the confusion is. Here's what I'm willing to bet, boys. All right? Here's what I'm willing to bet, okay? I'm willing to bet if we ever find out Teddy's true identity, Teddy is a late 20s non-native English speaker. English is his second language. That's my guess. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Anyway. Among a sea of reply girls and cat videos, a few gems of early YouTube made their names. Shane Dawson. What do you mean how you keep me guessing? Bro, I never guessed before. Can't keep me guessing if I never guessed before. Jenna Marbles. I don't know if Jenna Marbles was really back then either, though. Let me check that. Let me check her, too. Yoit. Jenna Marbles channel about page. 2010. Close enough. Cool. Bo Burnham?
Bo.
2006. I had a feeling of that about that one. Philip DeFranco.
Sup, you?
2006. I did not realize DeFranco was a 2006 guy. Philip DeFranco. Boogie 2988. just to name a few of the original names of YouTube. However, all right. imagine being a man. All right, let me try that again. I don't have any water. I should get some water. Imagine being a man. All of YouTube loved and respected. But in a matter of weeks, you've become a joke, and all you can hope to have is something to salvage. 13 years and counting, a hobby that became a career, then soared higher, only to die as fast as Disney's Star Wars empire. Before the eras of McBroom's, Nice Stats, or Paul's, the first family of the internet was none other than shaycarls. This was a time online of video diaries and home movies. The world was still really finding the internet, and the internet was just finding YouTube. I mean, technically, I have... No, my channel's a year older. Actually, my oldest channel is a year older than DeFranco's. But the point isn't like necessarily when they started it. I'm just looking to see who actually did start and like was growing around that time. Tipster is nowhere near on the scale of any of the other people that are considered influential on the platform. Tipster nowadays could be considered influential because of the people and stories that he's impacted. But not really necessarily on the scale of somebody like shaycarl. You got to really think more like YouTube OG in that sense, I think. I don't have to imagine that's the saga of most early YouTube starts. Yeah. The world was still finding the internet, and the internet was just finding YouTube. Among a sea of reply girls and cat videos, a few gems of early YouTube made their names. Shane Dawson, Jenna Marbles, Philip DeFranco, Boogie2988. And Boogie2988, just to name a few. However, none of these I'm not sure any of these creators I don't know. It's hard because Philip DeFranco arguably has had similar influence on the platform to shaycarl. You know, I'm going to leave it in there. Then people can argue in the comments if they want to. However, I'm not sure any of these creators has ever had the level of change the However, I'm not sure any of these creators has impacted the creator community on the scale of Shay Butler. When did Boogie start being a YouTube dude with... I wish I had success on the internet during those days. I really missed the growth of the platform, only starting to watch in 2012. Yeah, I didn't really get into YouTube that much until... I'm trying to remember. I want to say 2011 I got back into it. But I was just watching at the time. And then I didn't start making content again, I don't think, until like 2012, 2013. And even then, I didn't know at all what I wanted to do, so I ended up just making Minecraft videos and stuff. Among a sea of Reply Girls and cat videos, a few gems of early YouTube made their names. Shane Dawson, Jenna Marbles, Philip DeFranco, and Boogie298, just to name a few. Just a few of the original names of YouTube. However, I'm not sure any of these creators has impacted the creator community on the scale of Shea Butler. As a family vlogger that with his wife started raising an army? How many kids do they have now? How many kids does Shay Carl have? That's it? 6? I could have swore they had like 8 kids. Wait, how many kids does Shay Carl have? 6. Avia Butler, Gavin Butler, so-and-so. People also search for Colette Butler, Avia Butler, got all the kids, and then Philip DeFranco. Let's see here. By the way, Zubat, how you doing? Meant to reply to you, I just kept forgetting. I'm like really like going back and forth a lot here. Okay. I don't know how to make this funnier. It sounds kind of cringy. Doesn't it? Sounds like too simple. You know what? As the most fertile family vlogging husband on the platform, after he and his wife had 6 children. Many know Shay as the most fertile family vlogging husband on the platform. After he and his wife had 6 children. So stupid. Okay,
Shay, your cleavage is showing, honey. Your cleavage is showing.
kind of hard to imagine Many know Shay is the most fertile family vlogging husband on the platform after he and his wife had 6 children. All you need is the blackface reference and the video's ready. Given the... My? Shay was a tease. I sure do hope that didn't screw him over in the future. Given the videos, no, I don't know. I don't see. I feel like I'm struggling again around this. Actually, you know what? We're at the hour mark. We're at the hour mark. This isn't much, but it's a start. It's a start. So, I may actually go ahead and end it here. Because like I said, I was planning to do these. I'm planning to keep these on this channel for about an hour so that it's just a kind of like a longer video. Philip DeFranco's channel. I didn't get much done. I didn't get a whole lot done. I'm gonna start doing these more often though. And I think in the future, if these work well, and people like coming and hanging out and talking about the topic and all that while I'm working on stuff, maybe I won't even work on them anymore. I'll just make them into just chatting streams. And then after the hour and a half or so, we flip over to a Twitch gaming stream. Tonight, I'm not going to do that. I want to give this a couple weeks and slowly kind of get back into doing things. I am going to be probably doing a Twitch thing though. Keep the gaming streams and the talking streams separate. You know what I mean? I think it's for the best. Look, I get this is about his YouTube career, but personally speaking, I think Shay contributing to porn is way more interesting. Rised up. That's gonna be the fun thing. That's gonna be the fun part. That's the easy part. I need to get like a lot of other stuff done first. Do a video on Storyfire, please. That might be interesting. That might be interesting. You know, it'd be even more interesting. Some of you in chat know where I live. So, given who the story of Storyfire would mostly surround, the way this could play out if I was to do that would be very interesting indeed. But I will admit that probably wouldn't be something that would take place until early next year, because I'm really, with everything going on in my life right now, I'm trying to take on mostly smaller things that aren't like going to impact things, and that's one that if I was to do it, I would be pulling out all the stops, and I would want to get an in-person interview, and that could go very poorly for me. But given where I live, that would be very, very possible, and I would have to execute that just right. Because I don't have as much of a problem with with the platformers as a lot of other people. As a matter of fact, I fought with Jalen. About year and a half, 2 years ago, in a Discord server and in his comment section, briefly, but I did argue with Jalen about, I said his, I meant, at the time, Jalen was not out yet, so my apologies. Jalen is, I believe, a she now, not a they, but I'm not positive where they identify, but for now they. My apologies, it wasn't supposed to be the he. Anyway, point is, I got into a bit of an argument back and forth because that was the Chuggies. Are you talking about Juggalos? Or are you talking about, like, fans of McJuggernuggets? I'm not sure what Juggies are. I just... Okay, here's the thing, right? Jalen, granted, Jalen is young and was younger then. Jalen's... When they introduced the Blaze, Jalen called it a scam. And at one point in the video, called it a pyramid scheme. Which didn't make any sense because according to them at the time, you could get Blaze by watching ads, which I believe was actually still a thing at one point. Like, you could still watch ads to earn Blaze. So you could watch videos to earn Blaze. Like, I don't know. It was really weird. The way that the... Okay. See, that's another thing that makes you sound older. The fact that you know that. That's what I thought that was supposed to be. And I wasn't sure if you were picking up what I was putting down, that that's who I was talking about or not. But yeah. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. So anyway. You and Jalen are the same age? Okay. Yeah, I know they're younger. I just don't know how much younger than me they are. I was under the impression they were early 20s, late teens. So somewhere around there. It sounds like it's about right since I know you just went to you just started going to college or university or whatever you call it. No, see, okay, here's the thing though. I don't know the logistics of all that stuff. I don't know what people were actually told. I know the few things I have heard is that, yeah, there's some shady stuff happened at the very least. Now, the problem is, I don't know what is Jesse lying to people and what was him being lied to. Because Jesse is a content creator and a director and things like that, right? He wouldn't necessarily know how the logistics work of getting the financial infrastructure set up to handle payouts and things like that, and how the inbound, outbound works. Usually there's a financial person that you get to handle all that stuff. I have no idea who they put in charge of that, who was handling it, what the logistics of that were. I have no idea how much server costs were, because I can tell you, it had to be really, really expensive to manage that site. And not to mention, he's even said how much it cost to that he was putting into of his own money just to run the company. Because server space alone for that much video content is not cheap. Like, if you think about your like drop boxes and things like that, right? If you look at how much they charge you to store different sizes of files in it, think about like how much they charge you for that, right? So imagine how much storage and how much that storage would cost for even a single community of people on YouTube that are uploading over there. And you had a bunch of people that went over there and started just uploading like crazy because they were like bringing people in. Yeah, exactly. And not to mention because they were housing the HD videos and a few other versions, just like with YouTube. Just like with YouTube, all of those different qualities, it's not like they're downscaling a video in real time. It's stored in all those different video qualities. So whenever you switch from one to another, it just starts loading another video from the same spot in a different resolution, but it's a different video file. It's not the same video file being downscaled or upscaled. It's an entirely different video file that starts playing every time you change the resolution. It's not the same one. It's crazy. So they have so much data that they have to store, even just for one video file. So anybody that's running 4K video, bro, that's insane. I've got videos I've made that are like 40 gigabytes. And when I upload it, it's it takes hours. So I don't know how much of it was like whoever was handling the finances was like giving him information, but it wasn't good information. I have no idea what the truth was. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff he said may have been based on like projections of like when we get somebody and this, that, and the other. We get investors, we get this, then we get that. Unfortunately, that's the problem with a startup like that. A lot of it is like you have to think positively and you have to act on what should or could happen if you play your cards right. Otherwise, you don't take shots that you need to take to be able to hit the target. Like you can't hit the target. You can't hit a target if you don't take the shot. So you need to kind of take all those shots, unfortunately, with that kind of business. So yeah, I definitely would be interested in doing that, especially if I could talk to anybody, even if it's not actually Jesse himself, but somebody else. It would be great to talk to somebody about that platform. But it would not be a hit piece or anything like that. It would be a kind of like a what happened to type of thing, right? Kind of comment on like the things that he did with his lore that were involved with Storyfire that probably shouldn't have been, or should have been more clear that it was lore, things like that. Yeah, I think most people were rooting for Storyfire. Unfortunately, it was kind of doomed to fail. I'll be honest. I think if the pandemic hadn't happened, there's a chance that they might have done better. But because the pandemic happened, you had things like TikTok that blew up, right? Whereas before YouTube, before the pandemic, normie everyday people weren't like laid off like crazy and home bored and started getting into TikTok and then drove a ton of traffic to TikTok, and then people left YouTube to go to TikTok. So TikTok kind of grew because of the pandemic. And there was a bunch of other video platforms that started and failed too, because they didn't have to, like, there was Quibi. I think it was Quibi was the vertical phone app where like Reno 911 and a bunch of other really high level talent shows were like really crazy talent. Like I think Kevin Hart had a show on there, like crazy stuff, right? And these people were making this app, this like celebrity driven app, like all these big names, big shows, and it failed miserably, horribly. Like it just straight up died and disappeared. It didn't get buried. It just went poof when it died. Okay? And that's partially because the whole concept was like, it was short form, like sections of a show or whatever. It was almost taking an episode of a show, from my understanding, and cutting it up even more and making it more palatable for like, you got 5 minutes, you can watch 5 minutes of this show and then come back and watch it later. And I think that was like the mentality with it. But the problem is everyone got laid off or wasn't able to work as much. So they were like, well, now I'm home. I can just watch Netflix. Why would I want to sit on my phone at home and watch these 5 minute things and just like skip to the next one? They lost all of the benefit that they would have had from people that are commuting and things like that. So like, it was gone. The benefit was gone. No one wanted to pay for this stupid app when they could watch Netflix or Disney Plus or anything else. So it died. Especially when you have TikTok as your competition. The normies want the TikTok. They don't want to watch Quibi. So they kind of ran into a perfect storm of things that killed them. Storyfire also kind of sucks because it doesn't benefit from the fact that TikTok is such a massive, growing at the time, like massively growing at the time, video platform where anyone can upload or watch with no restrictions, except for you have to watch ads every once in a while. Whereas Storyfire has a lot of restrictions for the regular everyday user that doesn't have clout to get a usable account. So it makes sense to me that it kind of died that way. Quibi was the funniest thing ever. Quibi was the funniest thing ever by accident. Yeah. We were also rooting for VidMe. Anytime something like that blows up, people are rooting for it. Yeah, VidMe had a lot of issues. What benefit did Quibi even have? It was just seems that, but like I just explained, Quibi was designed mostly for very short consumable content, but it was supposed to be high effort, high value content. You take a show like Stranger Things is an hour long, and you cut that episode up and you write it in a way that it can be short form episodes of like 5 to 10 minutes. And then those 5 to 10 minutes are perfect for your cab ride, your bus ride, or whatever. And then people can watch it on their phone. It's also shot vertically, right? So you don't feel like you have to hold your phone sideways, because most people want to hold it vertically. So it was designed for short form where people have a few minutes in their day to watch. But the benefit of that did very much exist doesn't exist anymore. Doesn't exist anymore once everybody is home and not leaving the house for months. So it was gone. That one might be interesting. You know, I'm going to make notes of these. I'll make notes of these because these actually do seem interesting to do. Kid behind a camera would be interesting because like the whole angry grandpa thing and all that. And I know there was a lot of controversy around the people that thought he was using his dad after he died and all that. But personally, I think a lot of what he was doing was more... I get why it looks that way to a lot of people. But like, for example, me, I'm going through a divorce, right? I'm constantly joking about my divorce. But me joking about it is in one way coping with the loss of my marriage. It still hurts a lot, but a lot of times people deal with things and cope with things by keeping them alive in some way, or by getting energy out about the thing, right? So in some way, I don't think he was really using it for that purpose of like benefiting off of his father, but I think it was one way of keeping his father's memory alive. But I definitely understand why a lot of people thought he was doing that. So I'll let's see. Kid behind a camera. Not to mention Angry Grandpa. Angry Grandpa alone. I don't know if anybody's done a video in a long time on Angry Grandpa and his legacy, but that dude apparently had like a huge history of like working in wrestling industry and all that. Like people thought like that dude was just legitimately crazy and his dad was just messing with him or whatever, or like he was really like that, but he kind of got the bit like that dude really did have like issues, but that dude was actually like acting a lot of the time. Like it's surprising how much that the whole what they call it, people used to call it rage bait content, where like, you know, like the McJuggernuggets and Kid Behind a Camera and Boogie 298 all did the whole rage bait content where like it was like acted freakouts and stuff. Story fire. All right. AJ should make a video. I can't. On what? No, probably not. I'm probably not going to do an update on Def Noodles. He hasn't done anything I think that's worth making fun of him for yet, and that's I know a lot of I handle my content like a regular commentator, but I really do my content mostly for the jokes and mostly for the fun of it. I just feel like I have a responsibility when I do the content that I do, making fun of these people and all, that I feel like I do have the responsibility of having to present it accurately. I really do feel like I need to present it very accurately, and just because I'm making jokes doesn't give me an excuse to just flat out misrepresent things or whatever. So I don't plan to do a Def Noodles video, but at least not on the main channel. When I start doing other stuff on other channels and stuff, and I have more time once the divorce is final and all that stuff. I may be doing other stuff on other channels. It's going to be more small and more consumable content rather than long form big projects. So at that point, I might do smaller updates on stuff like that. But for right now, there's no plan. Right now, the plan is, okay. Right now, the projects I am working on are the politics on social media. Right now, the plan is parasocial politics is the term I'm thinking of right now for that one. I do still have a couple videos about the concept of commentary that I want to do. shaycarl, EDP. EDP is one I'm really gonna have fun with. You missed the hood gaming era. Wait, you missed the hood gaming era of my content or the hood gaming era as in hood gaming's era? Because I'll be honest, that was a really fun video to do, but finding a lolcow like that is not super easy. There's not somebody with that kind of, like, legacy and that much content to be made about them. Although, like I said before, like we looked at last time I did one of these streams, there was a lot more to shaycarl that I can point at and, like, yeah, that's kind of funny that he did this thing with this accent, that he did this back in the day. That would never fly today. He'd be canceled in a minute for doing that now. Both? I mean, it was only a year ago that I did the hood gaming video, but I feel like the Def Noodles video was a pretty good spiritual sequel, I guess you could say, to that. But is there anything? No, nobody's doing anything tonight. I was so hesitant to stream tonight because I was a little worried that, like, other people were going to be streaming. But yeah, nobody's streaming tonight, surprisingly. I could have swore I just saw, like, a glare on here, but that's like the house. There's nowhere for a light to have come from. That was weird. Anyway, oh, Epic Mealtime is what I'm going to do eventually. So the big ones I'm looking to do right now, the ones I'm prioritizing the most are the EDP video, the politics video, the shaycarl video, and probably trying to do the John Cena reality show video that I've been trying to do for a long time now. I do want to do a Pay Money Wubby retrospective type video too, but I don't know how to do that one because he's a funny guy and there's not a whole lot to really make fun of him for. So a lot of it would just be like highlighting funny things he's done. So I'm iffy on that one, but I do want to do some more of these, like, more retrospective type things, but I also want to do more opinionated commentary stuff. Make a video on Fred's drug addiction. Fred's an old school YouTuber too that I couldn't stand back in the day. I will say, by the way, John, it is funny how many screenshots and conversations I see behind the scenes of people that are like, AJ is so cringy. AJ is just kind of weird. AJ's this, AJ's that. I mean, I agree with most of them, though, to be honest with you. No issue if you like the dude, but it's like some of the stuff he said is just like creepy. Some of his stuff is just so weird and creepy, and then he tries to grandstand. Is like, I don't know, man. He's kind of he's an interesting one. Grady, I don't think he's as funny as a lot of the other guys in the community seem to, but he's funny. He's decent. He's got like this. He's got a little bit of a parody element to him. I think some of the stuff he does is a little forced, but he's young. He's very young, so like he's still finding like a voice and all that stuff. I think he's funny. He's good. I haven't watched a whole lot of his content, especially recently. Like I watched a bit of it during the Def Noodles thing. I don't think he's uploaded a whole lot since then. He did his like whole diss track thing, which was really weird. But he wasn't like taking it seriously. I think he was just having fun with it. Yeah, I think there might be a storm brewing a little bit with him, with AJ. But as for Grady, yeah, I mean, I like him. He seems like a good kid. Some of his takes are a little, but I can't. But sometimes it's hard to tell when he's being serious and when he's not. I'll be honest with you. I think usually though it's pretty easy to tell. And I think usually he's okay. I think usually he's on what I would agree with. But every once in a while, Nerdy John, can you tell Jake that a video about me is the way he'll give me subs? It's a shame. It's a crying shame. Tipster DM'd me about Tipster was DMing me about how emotionally wrecked he was. Like, he's putting on a strong front on Twitter. Joking around about flirting with people and all that, but yeah. Yeah, he's wrecked behind the scenes. I feel bad for him. He's probably gonna get mad at me for leaking that. Yeah. Apparently divorce is going real rough. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. I think that's why he's not streaming right now or anything. I think he's currently with his lawyer. Because it is a Saturday night and he's not live. Holy crap. Can you react to Nikado Avocado, please? I'll give you every reaction I've ever had to him right now. Not gonna watch a video, but I'm gonna... Close tab. There we go. That's the Oh, everybody's getting a divorce, bro. It's the trendy thing to do. I was ahead of the curve. I found out I was getting a divorce like a month before Keem announced that he was breaking up with his girl. And then a bunch of other stuff happened after that. The worst part is, I think some people have taken like jokes that I made seriously, because like there was a lot of stuff that I said where like I was just like making a joke about it, and it got like zero interaction. I'm like, I hope people didn't take this seriously and think I was like just venting on the timeline. Like, I specifically have avoided venting on the timeline. Everything I've tweeted that was a joke was a joke. But I think some of them came, like, the dryness of the humor just didn't read through. Trying to think of a good example here. If I can see if I can find... You've got two audio files? Well, then they're perfect for each other. So Jake, I'm running into a problem in editing. The two audio files are synced up, and the beginning is fine. Later, the podcast is not synced. I've had that problem. I have no idea. I have no idea how to fix it. I'm told, and when I've done some research into it, I'm told from what I gather that it's something about the clock speed or the bit rate. So it could be your computer's internal clock speed, like how your system runs, compared to how their system runs, or it could be the bit rate you're recording at. Those are somewhere in between there. Apparently, is the whole thing. My jokes are like genocide. They're bad. think it's more that it causes people to break down, but, you know, it has an emotional response. That's usually a good thing, though. Bro, Nick just broke 3 ribs and he's disabled. Okay. I don't know how true any of it is, though, because I know he's a troll. I have heard some of the stuff, but he's a troll. The way he plays it up for videos makes me think that he probably isn't really in as bad a situation as he says he is. Because if he was, right? How could he continue making those videos and not be worried about death? But death would be imminent at that point. So it appears to be satire of some kind. Yeah, that's how, that's how, have you never listened to a comedian talk? That's a good thing. This one, I'll admit, was not as obviously a joke. Because if you only read the beginning, when they say nice guys finish last, they mean it. No matter how much they say it's just a stupid saying, it's true. Don't believe me? Was it the dick that held the door for you when everyone, for everyone else? They walked in... Okay, I actually rereading it back again now, I can see how this one actually doesn't even read right. Like, was it the dick that held the door for you, for everyone else? And then they here is supposed to be referring to the nice guy again. Not the dick. But, and then hold the door. Like, I thought that was clearly a joke, but no interaction. Actually, you know what? I'm going to delete that one too, because the joke doesn't land anyway. What's my opinion on tips for making OnlyFans? I mean, if he wants to show the tip for some tips, why not? Now that he's divorced, why not? You know? Now that Tipster's divorced, if he wants to show his tips for some tips, more power to him. As long as he doesn't start sending his tip to people on Twitter DMs, I think he'll be fine. Sorry, I just saw like a really weird wrestling. Teddy is very easily amused. I don't know if you know that or not. Anyway, all right. It's been about an hour and 40 minutes. Almost. Oh wait, what's your opinions on 9/11? Let me go. Let me see. Let me find Hassan. Maybe Hassan can explain it. The John Swan and Nick divorce is pretty bad. I hadn't heard about that one. Was John upset that Nick squished him? His tips are pregnant. It's not dinner time yet, so he couldn't have a food baby. I don't know. Maybe with Vic Blanco? Maybe they worked out the differences, him and Vic Blanco? I don't know. All right, yeah, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. I want to keep these two around an hour and a half max, just so that there's some consistency with the channel for the algorithm and all that. So, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Like I said, in a few weeks, probably start after the hour and a half, whatever. I will move over to a Twitch stream for gaming content and stuff like that, and that's about it. Why does Tipster have a double chin? Because fat. Yes.